Okay, team, so today we're going to look at creating our first project in Adobe Premiere Pro, where we will be editing some video. And the first thing that we want to do to get started is get our files organized. So I'm going to open up a File Explorer window by clicking on the little folder icon down here. And we want to navigate to our OneDrive and go inside our ComTech folder. And I have set up a video folder for our video unit. And inside that folder is where I'm going to create folders for all of my projects. So there's a couple things already saved in here. I'm going to go into my Office Remake folder. Inside of this folder, I have already set up my audio and footage files. To set up these folders, you just want to right click, go down to New and New Folder, and you want to name them Audio and Footage. You will see my audio folder is currently empty. My footage folder has all of my footage in it, and I've kept them nice and organized here. Once we have that folder set up, we're ready to jump into Adobe Premiere Pro and start creating our project, which will live within this folder called the Office Remake. So I'm going to open up Premiere Pro. When we open it up, we see our welcome screen here. I'm going to click on the blue New Project button up in the top left, and it's going to give us this new project window. So we'll start by naming our project. Same as my folder, I'm going to call it the Office Remake. And then I want to click on the location. I go to choose location, and I'm going to navigate to that folder. So mine defaults to there because I've already been in here. But again, if I go into OneDrive, ComTech, Video, and then the Office Remake. Once I've double clicked into here, which is where I want it to live, I can make sure that the file name is showing up there. Click Save. I don't need to apply a template, and I don't want to skip the import. Then I'm going to click on Create. And now we'll see the first window of the Premiere Pro application. And this is where we get the option to import any of the files that we already have for our project. And as I showed you, I do already have some of my footage imported there. So I would have the option here to click on my OneDrive and I could navigate to it. So again, I want to find my ComTech folder, videos folder, and then in here I have my video projects, and instead of clicking into this one, I just want to check it. Okay, and once it's checked there, it's going to turn blue, and then this is going to click on, or sorry, this is going to light up as import here. And I'm going to click on import. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to import all of this footage. Okay, we don't need that for this one, but that is a good way to get that footage imported there. So I want to clear this stuff. I want to click and drag, select all of that stuff, and press delete. What you'll see over here in our project files is all of these documents in here. These are all of our footage files. Now you might not have any here yet, but these are all the ones that I had used to create my Office Remake. If we go to Media Browser, it lets us browse through those as well, so you can see that audio folder. Again, everything that's in footage is organized nicely here. I'm going to click into my Landscapes folder, and the first one that I want to use is either one of these, and this is where we're going to start organizing it. So in the Media Browser, we can drag any of those clip files, audio files, anything like that over here into our timeline. I'm going to start by dragging this one in, and I'm going to drop it in there on V1. This little clip mismatching warning is going to come up, and we can do keep existing settings. Now I want to come down here and I want to drag my timeline scroll bar to be a little bit shorter so that we're nice and zoomed in. And you'll see in my timeline now that we have this first clip in here, and it is about 11 seconds long. Okay. And we'll see if we drag this around. That's just a nice clip of the front of the building. And we want to get a little part maybe where it zooms in. So it starts to zoom in there. So let's go to about that mark. This is where our razor tool will come in handy. So I'm going to click on our razor tool. And I'm going to go back to that mark that we've set with the marker. And you'll see if I'm on either side of it, when I get close to that marker, it snaps right in place. And we want to click there. And that's going to split that into two. I can go back to my selection arrow here, click on that first part, and I can delete it because I don't need that. I want to drag this back to the start. And now we'll see we get that little zoom. You see the flag kind of flapping in the reflection of the window. And let's say we want it to be about 3 seconds long. We can put it to there. You'll see the 3 seconds timing is there. I want to go back to my razor, clip it again, and then I can get rid of that part. Okay, so that shows us how to edit those clips. So now I have 3 seconds of clip there. If I want to see what it actually looks like up here, I can click on play, and you'll see it kind of zoom in there. So that is the 3 seconds that I now have of that file in there. Now when I'm playing that, I can hear the wind blowing. We're not going to want that because we're going to want just our theme song in this Office remake. So if I click on my clips, it's going to light both up. I want to right click on it and click on that unlink button. Unlink is going to make it so that the audio in A1 is separate from the video in V1. And I can click on that audio and click on delete. So now when I click play, all we have is the video, no audio. That's perfect. So with everything that we do in Premiere Pro and all of our Adobe files, we want to make sure that we're always saving. And the little asterisk up here beside our file name shows us that we have unsaved changes. So I'm going to click on Control S to save that, or I can go File and Save. And the little asterisk goes away. That means we're all up to date here. And this shows us how to add some of our clips into Premiere Pro. The other thing that we'll be needing for this particular project is some text. So I'm going to go to about half a second in to our first clip here and grab my text tool. And I just want to put some test text in here to show everyone what it looks like. Once I click back on my selection tool, I can move it around wherever I'd like. And by default, we've got our text set up here with a white fill and a black drop shadow. In here, we can change our font style to anything that we have installed on our computer. We can change how it aligns. We can change the font size. We can make it bold, italic, any of those things. Whole bunch of options in there. That drop shadow is one that I think is pretty important. I like to turn the opacity up to 100, make sure it's nice and black, so that no matter where you put this text, it's going to stand out. So if I drag it up here, let's have a look. So I'm going to take the distance down a little bit, and I'm going to take the blur down all the way. And then let's make this size a little bit larger. And the distance a little bit less. And that's what I want mine to look like. So now you can see it on a light background, and you can see it on a dark background. So no matter where we put that text, you're going to be able to see it and read it. And you can play around with the settings and get it just the way that you like it. Down here in our timeline, you'll see that this test text goes way past the end of that shot. And this is where you control the duration. So now if I press play from the start, you're going to see the video start without the text, then the text is going to pop up, then the text will disappear before the video is done. Just like that. If I wanted the text to go to the end of the video, I would drag it to the end, then you'll see how that changed it. Okay, so you can play around with the duration of the text, make it nice and short, lots of things you can do there. So that shows us how to get the clips in there and any text or captions in there. You'll see with any clip, I can grab more clips and bring them in at the end. I can right click and ripple delete to make sure that they go one right after the other. And anything we add in now as a clip is just going to show up in that order. Now these ones obviously have the audio still. We'll want to go in and get rid of that by unlinking and deleting that audio. And then another way to edit the length of this audio, let's say we just want the clip of the guy walking, and as soon as he goes out of the screen, we want it to disappear. I can just drag that clip down like that as well. So you'll see as soon as he goes out of the frame there, that clip ends. We'll do the ripple delete to get it to the next one. Maybe we'll shorten this one. So now you'll see our whole clip with some text showing up, no audio on any of these clips, and it kind of starts coming together. I want to Control S again to save my work, and then we can keep working through that, adding clips as we need them, shortening them, lengthening them, adding captions, so on and so forth until we have all of our pieces put together, and then we'll be ready to add in some audio.